Hi all, welcome back to the channel. So I hope you are enjoying this Playwright series, and if you are enjoying, please do subscribe to the channel. And let's start with this today's video. So today we'll be discussing about how to handle dynamic web table, and basically we will be covering two kind of website. One is Angular website, another is HTML based website, and see this the approach I'll be showing, it would be applicable for all kind of tables. So it can be a static web table, it can be a dynamic web table. So if you're not sure what is dynamic web table, then let me show you, I mean let me give example, or let me explain that first. So basically a static web table looks like this. So why this is static? Because you can see these data are not, I mean, changeable. What I mean want to mean, like this data will not be changed. Okay, so this column contact will be here only and country would be here only. So if this is a dynamic web table, okay, in that case this data will be updated frequently. Also, this column columns will be like, it will not be fixed. So maybe this contact column can go to the end, and this country column go shift to, like shift one shift shifting one, just shifting to the left. Okay, or maybe like in future they can add a separate extra columns as well. That can be a possibility also. So these kind of tables we call as a dynamic web table, so where the data are not static. Hope you got it. Okay, now uh, coming to this slide. So we'll be doing this kind of operations here in today's video, so it will be a bit lengthy. I hope you'll enjoy it and you'll learn a lot from this video. So let's do it. I mean, let's go to PyCharm, and let me create, or let me clean this first. Close all tabs. Yep. And let me create one new file. So let's name it as test dynamic web table. And the methods, the approach I will be showing you, it will be applicable for both static and dynamic web table. So I mean, if you know one thing, so it can be applicable for all. Okay, and also there is no separate kind of approach that I'll be following for Angular, or I mean not Angular for not, I mean what I mean to say, like the approach that I will be following will be applicable for both Angular website and non-Angular website. Okay, so you can apply those, I mean whatever you will be learning here, you can apply on both websites. So let me take one template. So I'm taking this one, copying it here, and removing the unnecessary codes. So here I can remove this part as well, and let me give one good name. So here it is like test Angular web table. Okay, and the website will be using it here. It's this one. Okay, so we have navigated to this web URL, or to this URL, and the page is launched. So you can see this URL. This is the same URL. So if I just refresh it, and it should launch it like this. Okay, now you can see there are multiple columns are there. So name, country, agent, date, balance, something like that, right? And also here names are there. So let's see, like uh, the first thing that we want to do is click on a checkbox by customer name. So let's say I want to click this James Bart. Okay, this can be clicked, or maybe anything. These names are very difficult to pronounce. Chris Marrier. Okay, so sorry about that. I mean, for me it's a bit difficult to pronounce, so but I will try to pronounce properly. And so let me select this one. Okay, so if I select this one, or and this one, so these two I want to select. Okay, And the next thing I want to do is like get the balance of a customer. So let's get the balance of this customer, that is 93,000 something. So this I want to print. Okay, so these two checkbox I want to select, and this I want to print it. And the third thing I want to do, I just want to fetch all the data from this page. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so first it would be page dot. So we have reached to this page right now. Let me inspect it. Mhm, not this one. Just go above. So you can see whenever there is a table, there should be this table tag should be there, and you should also see T body, TR, TH head. So TH head is basically table header, and table body is this one complete body, and there is a TR that stands for table row. Okay, whenever you see this TR, this is for table row, and inside this table row there should be table data. So TD tag would be there, right? So this is how a table structure, I mean HTML structure is defined. So you can remember this like from first thing is like table. From table there should be T head, and then should be T body, and in T body childs are like TR and TD. Okay, now first we need to get the rows, right? So what would be the rows? So let's create a selector for that. So this is a table, and row. Okay, table dot this one. So it's highlighting just one node. Now I need to go to TR. So I can do like TR directly. So it's showing me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 rows are there, including the first one. So there are total 10 rows. You can see here, yeah, 10 rows selected. But we are getting 11 because it's counting the first one as also as a row. So that's fine. We can take it. So let me copy it now. So page.locator and put it like this. And this is my rows. Okay. So we got the rows, and from rows, what we'll be doing, rows dot, again we will write locator. So basically I have already created a video on like how to select a locator based on another locator. Okay, so basically first we identified this locator. From that locator we'll be identifying another locator. Okay, so basically this page dot locator will give me rows, right? So rows 1, rows 2, rows 3, rows 4. So let's say I want to get a row where the name is, or that there is a text called this one or this one. Okay, so that I want to do. It can be anything, any text I can write, like it can be ISA or whatever name is giving. So that I can select, or it, so let I'll be showing you how to do that. So basically for that, it's in playwright terms it's called augmenting a locator. So let me go there. So it's called augmenting existing locator. So what we are doing, we can filter any locator by passing the scope operator or scope of, okay, this one, the scope selector actually, to this method locator dot locator, and there is a selector, right? And specify desired options. For example, given the locator row that is selected. So this option I'll be showing you. If you do not understand what it is written here, let me explain you here. So first we have getting these rows, right? So we have got the rows first, and then from that rows we are typing rows dot locator, and here we'll be writing scope. Okay, so basically just remember we are filtering something. out of all those rows. Let's say there are 10 or 11 rows are there. Now we are filtering rows which are having a text called has text. We can write has text equals to what? Let's put this name, Donati Fowler. I hope I correctly pronounced it. Okay, so this can give multiple locators as well. I mean, if there is two-person with the same name, so basically if there is two-person here in this rows, 10 rows, let's say there are two persons, two customers with the same name, then it will return me both those, both rows, right? So, but here we know, right? It is just will return. It should return just one row, right? Okay, so what it should return? This is should return customer row or a row, just a row. Okay. Now next what? So we got the row right, right. So but our what is our target? Our target is to click on this checkbox. So we got the complete row, right? Uh, Now, so what does it mean by row? We got actually this one. Uh, Sorry. So basically, let me highlight here. This is the row, right? You can see this is highlighting here. So this is TR. This we have reached to this position now. Okay, but we have to go here. I mean, there should be this checkbox, this one. So we have to go till here. So what is the value for this? I mean, what is the locator for this one? So we are here. Now we have to reach here. So it is also again selecting a locator based on another locator. That is also there here, I think, selecting elements that contains other elements. Okay. So we have already learned about it and you can watch that video. I will be adding that video in the eye icon. You can watch it. Okay. Now let's go here and let me inspect it again. Okay. So let me check the locator that I can select. So I can use class name or what I can try this one, right? So let me check the class name only. So there are three classes are there. We just need one class. So I can try something like this. So div dot class name. So as you can see, it's highlighting 11 locator, right? So if I directly use it like page dot locator and this locator, it will give me this 11 locator, but we do not want that, right? We want the one which is there for this tier. And we have already highlighted this tier, right? We already got this one here. So we will be just using dot operator again and use locator and we'll give this value. I mean, the complete value we can give div dot this. If you are not able to understand what I'm doing here, you can watch that video that is given in the link in the eye icon where we have explained like selecting element based on other elements. So you'll be able to understand it. So so we got the now what is this? This is the checkbox. For what which checkbox? The checkbox for this text wherever it will find. So let's say there is this one. Now we should click on check this. We should be able to now check this checkbox. So checkbox dot check, right? And now we can do some assertion as well. So expect checkbox and let me hover over it, import this name. Okay, make sure you are importing from sync API. Yeah, dot to be checked. That's it. Now let me run it. So pytest minus s dash dash headed and we have to use basics and taste underscore dynamic web table, and let me give a slow motion as well of 2 seconds. Let's see what happens now. Okay, it give error, right? So let's find it what is the wrong. Okay, it's saying we need to install Playwright. Okay, let's do that quickly. So Playwright uh, uh, install Chromium. Okay, let it install. I'm pausing this video for a while so that you don't waste your time. Okay, so this is finished now. So now let's run it. So you can see it got checked, and also the test passed. So it's working. So the first one we have achieved. So next, do thing one thing like let's print all the data from the web table. So that we also can do, or also we can try this one as well. So first do that one. Let me add this here. So next one we will be doing print all the data from the table. Okay, so we have got the rows, right? And now what we can do, as we know, like this rows is not a iterable thing. For Playwright with Python, it is not a, this is actually type is locator only. So what we have to do, we have to iterate over a while loop. So let me take a index first. So index equals to 0, and while we can do something like index less than this rows dot count. Okay, this until so we are looping something. The condition is like I mean loop through it until index is less than rows dot count. Okay, and here what we'll be doing basically, we have to print it, right? Print the rows. So rows dot init index and dot inner text, right? So this we want to print, and let me print something like this, and here we'll be doing index plus equals to 1. So we are just incrementing this index by 1, and here for we are printing it. Okay, so I hope it is you can understand what we are doing here. So basically we have taken this row, we are getting this rows here, and here we are just checking this condition whether this index is less than rows dot count. So rows dot count should be 11. So 0 less than 11. So first it will print rows dot init of 0. That means the first row dot inner text. So whatever value should be, I mean whatever value means here, this row first row is this, so this should be first printed. Next this row's data should be printed, and then this row's data like this it should start printing, and index should be incrementing. So once index becomes 12, so 12 less than 11, so at that time this condition will not be satisfied and it will break from this loop. So let's run it now and let's see whether it's printing or not. So as you can see, it has printed all the data, right? So first it is printing this column headers like this, and then it has printed this data like we can see like James Burt, whatever data is there, agent, then date, then balance, and then the status. So I think status, there is nothing there in the status, so that is why it is not printed, or unqualified. It should print unqualified. Yeah, status is also printed, and in activity part it has not printed anything because there is no text, right? So we like this we can collect, or just you can, it's also a web scraping, so we can scrap those data. Okay, so the next thing is get the balance of a customer. So we have to get a balance. Let's say this one, this customer, I want to get a balance, right? So it's very easy also. Let me show you that. So we have to get this value, right? So how we will be getting it? So first, what would be the approach? So first we have identified this row based on this text. Okay. Next, after that, like we selected the checkbox, right? We selected the checkbox based on something like the locator. We found it. So similar way we can do it also for this field also. We need to get the locator of this field, and we can also apply the same approach that we have already done. So we can take this one, just copy this part, and here, because rows is already there here, so rows dot locator, this is also fine, has text. Let me update the name. So I want to get this one. Okay, so for this person I want to get the balance. Okay, now, so what would be the locator, right? So okay, now let's inspect it. Okay, so we can see it's highlighting like here in this field, right? So TD, so you have to get the TD. So how do you get the TD? So we can create one XPath now. So span text to balance, right? So there is a balance is there. So we have created this XPath for this one. So we have identified this node, this span one. Now we have to navigate to this one. So we can use like slash parent colon TD. Okay. Okay. So basically it is highlighting like you can see 10 nodes, but in our case it will not do that because we have already reached to this node. So this TD is under this TR, right? So this TD, where is this TD? I mean this one, no, this one. So this one is under this row. So we have reached to this row already. So based on that we are creating here. So we can take this one and here apply it. So this is now becomes our balance. See, we are not using any index here, like some column count, like columns of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, not like that. So it's very generic, and just this XPath need, you need this XPath only, right? Also, you'll be learning like if you do not have this XPath, if you cannot identify this XPath, is there any other way to do that? Like, can we pass this column name, and can you identify the value, like this value? That also we can, we'll be learning it. So let me now print the balance. So balance, this one. No, not this one, right? You know, right, what it should, we should have to use, we should use inner text, right? And here I want to show you a very interesting thing that you should already know, and you should be able to tell me why it is happening like that. So let me use text content. Now you'll see one interesting thing here. If I use inner text and if I should use text content, then let's see what happens now. And let me, okay, let's do that. I think it should be fine. So you can see the first one is done. Okay, so the test passed, and you can see one thing here. The first one, this balance dot inner text, it has printed this value. That ones we are looking for. But in case of text content, it also printed balance. So why it is printing balance and then it's printing the actual value? Why is that? So this might have a question if you are using, if you're also doing it, right? And for that, I already created another video for that, that is for difference between inner text and text content. So you should watch that video. I will be adding it in the I icon as well. So basically, the thing that is happening here, inner text is always giving you the visible text. Whatever text is visible currently in your screen, that is this one, right? So, or which value you are selecting, this one. 58,706. So this value should be printed. That is the visible text, but it will not print any hidden text. Okay, whereas this text content will print both hidden and visible text. That is why it's giving this balance. And if we see the inspector here, I mean this elements DOM, so you can see here this, there is a balance text is there, and here it is this 58,706. This value is also there. Now we can also add one assertion. So expect balance dot to have text, and the text value is, let's me give as 50 complete value. Let me give it the complete value. Yeah. Okay. Now let's run it. So it failed, and let's see why it is failing. So basically the problem it is happening here. Okay, assertion error. Locator expected to have a text this one, but the actual value is this one. So okay, so basically it's getting the text content. Whenever we are using to have text, always remember to have text is always use text content. Okay, so it is actually fetching both hidden and the visible text. Okay, so what we have to do here, we can use another option like dot to have to contents, I think. Yeah, to content text. So this is another assertion options is there. Okay, so that you can try. Let me run now. Okay, so one passed, and that this assertion also works fine, right? So this is how we can handle a dynamic web table, and also this is a angular web table. So next one, this part, like whatever thing we'll be covering, the approach will be a bit different from this one. I mean, not the approach. What I'm saying, like we'll be covering some different scenarios, okay, based on some condition. Like whatever we have done here will not be, we'll be using those same approach, but a bit a different way. Okay, so that I'll be covering in the next video. So that would be part two of this dynamic web table handling video. So I hope you have liked this video, and also if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you.